Hello and welcome. My name is Anna Rose White and this is Beehive Quilt Shop and we're in Wellington, Kansas, and I'm holding a possum instead of holding my baby because my mom, who is the other part of Beehive Quilt Shop, she's like, I can't remember how she said it, but basically she wanted the baby. So she took the baby with her. Anyway, so now I have a possum. It does not replace the baby, but it is soft. Not quite like touching a baby, but anyway, it's possum. So the story, I think everybody that's here already at the shop this morning was like, Anna Rose, why do you have a possum on the table? What's the story? And the story is we have 2 porch cats at our house, and they're adorable. My husband's he's finishing up planting wheat, so he's gone in the evening, and it's Stella's job, my oldest, to take care of the cats and to bring them out food and water, and she does that in the morning, and then she checks on them at night. Well, now that it's dark outside, it's getting dark earlier, and this possum is arriving earlier onto our front porch. And I went outside with the baby, and I just about screamed because there was a possum about 6 feet away from me on the porch. And so I panicked, and I went back inside. But then as soon as I got back inside, and I relieved from my panic, I was just like, possums are just really cute. Are they just misunderstood? They're just so gnarly, but oh my goodness, it was so cute. But it's eating my cat's food. Anyway, and it's just, possums are just one of those creatures. They're just, they are a bit of a rodent. They're not a cat, but they eat ticks. Look at them being helpful. See, we're practicing an attitude of gratitude. We're working on being more grateful in our lives for good things, and we can be grateful for possums eating ticks. I did not know that, Katie. That's so great. So we have possums but we also have lots of stuffed animals because we're not just a quilt shop. We're a quilt shop and a toy store. So a lot of times we have some really fun ideas because we're not just blending fabric with other fabric and notions. We're blending fabric with stuffed animals, with notions, with little fun swag. So anyway, here's the possum. It's just a lot of fun, and possums, of course, if you know, start with the letter O, which is very confusing, and no one should tell a kindergartner how to spell the word possum, or they'll just never learn to spell. But possums always remind me of skunks, and skunks are also just fun, and lots of people love to get stuffed animal skunks because they're just funny, and too many people have skunk stories, and I hope you don't have one that's directly related to you, but it's like about your, brother-in-law maybe that you got into a fight with one time at Thanksgiving. I don't know. But anyway, if you need thanks for having us over for Thanksgiving weird hostess gift, you could give someone a stuffed skunk and just be grateful for it. This is a nursing hedgehog, which one day there was this little girl that came in like very recently. It's like I'm holding Braxton, the baby, and I think she's probably 7 or 8. Anyway, she's holding this and she's just so excited. I'm like, oh, you got a nursing possum. And like, I'm just talking to this girl like it's a possum. She's probably looking at me like I'm crazy. Someone who's actually an adult here is like, Anna Rose, that's a hedgehog. It's a nursing hedgehog. But because I had this possum on my mind, I was thinking about possum. So anyway, this is a nursing hedgehog. But if you did want to sew a little tail onto him, you maybe could turn a hedgehog into a possum if you wanted to. But we have at least 3 or 4 different nursing pets. So there's a nursing hedgehog, there's a nursing mama cat, and there's a nursing mama puppy dog, and they are super adorable. My daughter's had one since she was, I think, 3, and now that I'm a nursing mom, it's just super cute because it's just, they're babies, except for it's magnetic, and it's cute. So we're just putting it on there because it's fun. And the last stuffed animal I'm showing you for a little bit, because I'm going to give you a tiny bit of a break, but I have stuffed animals on my mind, this is a sea turtle, and it comes with an egg, and it's just too cute, and it's only $8.99, and it's just a sea turtle. And when my kids, you're not supposed to motivate kids with food, so a lot of times we use Disney shorts for a bedtime or evening thing. If you get this done, then we can watch a Disney short. And there is one about a baby sea turtle, and there's one about another bird. Anyway, it's just fun. That's what was making me think about was Disney Plus. So if you need a small motivator, this is a super cute itty bitty thing. And like kids, they're very creative, and I'm sure they can find other reasons to use this other half of the egg. Who knows what they might use it for? But everybody also knows somebody who's obsessed with sea turtles. So just in case your friend who's obsessed with sea turtles doesn't have this one, it's another cute little idea of a stuffy. But we have some great new fabric in the store. We have lots of new fabric actually. And we're moving stuff around. So we've got all stuff is moving around on the toy side. We got fabric that's moving all over the place. So you'll just have to stay tuned if you're a lucky enough person to shop here in person. But Winnie the Pooh is now 100 years old, which means the 100-acre wood is having this renaissance again. So you're going to see it in baby stores. You're going to see it at all kinds of places. You're going to see it in the quilt shop. We have a couple different lines of Winnie the Pooh right now, actually. But this one is just called straight up Winnie the Pooh, maybe just the classic Winnie the Pooh. Doesn't even have some weird name. You have to remember Winnie the Pooh. And we have already made an instant 12 fat quarter bundle of these fabrics. So, you know, we love us. We love our 12 fat quarter bundles, but they also pair really well with fat quarter, or not fat quarter. Oh my goodness. Fat quarters pair really well with Villa Rosa patterns. So Villa Rosa is a great, if you haven't purchased them before, most of us sell them for $2 a piece. They're a postcard. You can have endless fun thinking about them. But this Winnie the Pooh would be a great Villa Rosa, quick, easy quilt to make up. Obviously would be great for a baby shower gift, first birthday, second birthday, third birthday. One of my mom's best friends, like growing up, I didn't know that many people with tattoos, but this gal had a Winnie the Pooh tattoo on her calf, and I remember thinking, like, why would an adult have a Winnie the Pooh tattoo? And now I understand it's because they're adorable and you feel emotionally connected to the stories that you're taught as a kid. So maybe you also could have a Winnie the Pooh tattoo. You can let us know if you have Piglet, Eeyore, Winnie the Pooh himself, Christopher Robbins. Who knows who your character is, but we have fabric for it now, and we've got a 12 fat quarter bundle, and obviously he pairs well with fabric, but it's I forgot to show you the colors. This is kind of this nice sage green. It has, of course, this like almond brown color, and then there's this really nice crisp baby boy blue, sky blue, and this one is like the overall theme print. Here we go. And so you can see it here, but it's kind words, our home. It's so nice. So there's just a great collection. We're gonna have it here at the shop, so you should get some of that because it's a lot of fun. But speaking of bears and super cute things, this is a brand new pattern from Elizabeth Hartman, and it is it's these little creatures that are holding tiny quilts. So the pattern is super cool because not only do you get the tiny creatures that are holding up the mini quilts, but you also have all these miniature quilt block patterns. So if you are doing like a miniature competition, some of them may qualify for that, but it's just really cool. And the other kind of thing that's kind of saucy, a little bit of gossip, kind of interesting, is Elizabeth Hartman was with Robert Kaufman for years, and she's now with Moda. So Moda has not stolen, acquired. I don't know what it's like when a person belongs to a company and they move publishers. I'm not sure what that's called, but Moda now has a Bella Solids list of all of her colors. However, just to make things complicated, make it out of 3. We are just super loyal to Riley Blake. So if you wanted to make this, we have 300 colors of Riley Blake confetti cottons that would be perfect to make this project. We like the quality of the fabric a little bit better, but we do have the Bella Solids color card. So if you do look up the Bella Solids color card, you come in, you want to make this. Here at the cutting table, we also have the solid color card for Riley Blake and confetti cottons. So we can help you make that bridge of those recommendations so that you can make this, or you can just come to our amazing color wall and check that out. But just food for knowledge, food for thought. I still have a little bit of postpartum brain, so not all of I love to speak in puns, and that's a little tricky it's just a little tricky. So speaking of all these possums and stuffed animals and Winnie the Pooh and skunks and things, we have this really cool collection, and Elizabeth Hartman. We have this 2-book series that's really awesome. This is great for applique. So this is the original. This is Zootropolis. Not Zootropolis.
Perfect timing. Zootopia 2 is coming out.
Yes, I was gonna say. I was like, I know someone's gonna help me out here with the. Again, the words are so hard to say on these things. Zootopia is coming out, which I just realized who's the fox's voice. It's he's in The Switch, which is one of my favorite rom-coms. Anyway, but it's just great. I'm excited about it. There's adult comedians that play, of course, these great creatures. Because Jason Bateman, I love Jason Bateman. Definitely top 5 of living male actors. Cary Grant is always going to be first place. Jimmy Stewart shortly after. I could go on. But anyway, This would be a super fun quilt. So if you've got a kiddo, you're going to that movie. The fun thing about this is this does have a quilt in here, as does the second one, but there's actually one of the best pillow finishing pattern concepts ever is in here. So this book just starts off like it'd be any good quilt book. It opens up to like a stunning cover that has great explanation. Like this is definitely like the best designed table of contents I've ever heard of in my life. Super inspiring. But if you notice, they're all pillows. So they actually super promote doing the pillow lineup. So here on page 7, they've got a great instructional thing on how to turn these little zoo creatures into pillows. And why we like it so much is because we actually did classes on this years ago. But the way it has you put the zipper in is just so helpful. So I don't have a pillow to show you, but a lot of pillows, you know, they make you put it on the seam. It's on the edge. It gets really crunchy. You still got to hand sew it when you turn it out under if you don't put a zipper in. But the way this zipper is just, it makes it so easy. So you do want to make multiples because it is that easy. The patterns here are just super well laid out. They're really well designed. Sassafras Lane Designs. They're the inventor of this. So if you're a bag maker, you probably know them because they're the ones that have the really cool jelly vinyl. They're the ones that have the really cool striped zippers. They're the ones that have all these cool metallic magnetic snaps and all kinds of fun stuff, but they really do applique extremely well. They're also a mother-daughter team, and they're like half of the reason why we have so many cool stickers. So Sassafras really is like one of our favorite companies, but we don't talk about their name enough, and their name is super fun to say. So Sassafras is super cool, but they're on trend and super relevant because Zootropolis and Zootopia are coming out in sequential times. So how fun would it be if you take your grandkid to that movie and then you decide to also make a pillow with them or do some applique? Applique really is very forgiving and it's super fun. So if a kid is going to make this project, like they can help you with it. If you're someone who's lucky enough to have a light box in your toolbox, a light box really can make this project go super well. The other thing I want to show you is on the second one is it's just as cool as the first one. Just as cool on the inside, but we are huge fans of black and white here at the shop, and look at that really cool setting. So the front has this super whimsical, like real tall English bus, whatever those are called, double-decker buses. But the back is just a really fun setting, and it's just very playful. They even have little French fries, like the shark has French fries. Like, I think that's adorable. I mean, you could swap it out for Brussels sprouts, but really French fries are adorable. So just go with that. But super relevant. Again, we have a huge amount of stuffed animals that you can pair with Zootropolis so that you can go to Zootopia and have a good time. Also, if you are traveling, maybe you don't live like super close here, but we're on your like vacation list. I always get really excited when people are like, I went out of our way, or we went 300 miles out of our way just to come here because we've been watching our shop, and then they had to go to Oklahoma, and then they had to come up to Beehive. But Wichita, Kansas has one of the best zoos ever. It's called the Sedgwick County Zoo. It is exceptional. Because we have wide open spaces, our zoo is one of the largest acreage zoos that takes up lots of space, and so the creatures have lots of a great habitat. You should come, and there's lots of baby elephants. So reasons to come to Beehive. And so that you can go to the zoo. Let's see here. Where should we go from here? I think we should go to John Wayne. I think that makes the most sense. So this is a buffalo, also known actually as the American bison. We love the American bison, of course, here in Kansas. And now we have this metal sculpture that's across from Beehive, and it does have an American bison metal cutout situation there. So you can always check that out. But bison is a timeless gift. We also are on the Chisholm Trail Museum, and this is a stuffed animal, and it's adorable, and it has a longhorn, and it's very well stuffed. Like, this is, you could make your own stuffed animals, but I don't want to make a horn and stuff it to the nth of its life. Someone else did that. I mean, a machine did, but it's very nice. So we're just going to put the longhorn and the bison right next to each other. But we have these new swanky zipper pulls. So we have a huge selection of zipper pulls and a whole zipper wall here in our shop. So we do have just tons of variety, but those are just super glitzy. They look like, I didn't realize this, but Nashville is the #1 bridesmaid destination in America. Like, did you guys know this? Has anyone ever heard this before? Like bachelorette parties, like where the bridesmaids go. And so there's it's just, I think that's wild, but it's not just, it's a thing. They have so many buses. We went there for a brother conference one time. And if you're going to Nashville and you're having a bachelorette party, that seems like the best type of zipper pull to do that.
Oh yeah, it's a big thing. The Nash back.
Oh, it's even called the Nash Bash. There you see, there's just so many things you don't know in the world. But an unlikely pair I wanted to talk to you about is John Wayne and Tilda. You know, I didn't think about this until this morning, and then once I thought about it, it's all I could think about. So again, we're envisioning a Nashville bachelorette party because, of course, this is what you thought you'd be doing on your Thursday morning or whenever you're watching this video. But this is a new John Wayne American West print that came in. There's all kinds of other cool pieces, but Tilda just has these really nice florals, and they're just like, I just don't know why I had never thought of that before.
Pearl snaps.
Yes.
Screaming that.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Is there a gun that does the, you know, like how there's a bedazzler gun, you know, rhinestoning?
Right.
Like that's a whole thing right now too. I've been watching the little videos of like cool independent bookstores that are having like bedazzling parties for your book covers. I mean, there's just lots of potential, but you could imagine instead of bedazzling, sewing on pearls onto a little something, something. I don't know. It just has lots of ideas. So again, Tilda, John Wayne, Longhorns. This is what my brain is like, just in case you didn't know, but I just think that this is a really cool combo. So if you know someone that this might be their vibe, I have gifted you this idea of what to do with Western John Wayne fabric and how nicely it pairs with Tilda. And it's also because of the style of how the fabric's printed. Like Tula Pink has like obviously like a totally different style of how her drawings and paintings are, but the way the surface design is on these fabrics really goes really well together. Just the level of design. So it's just Tilda and John Wayne. It's just meant to be. If this is your new favorite, you're welcome. I hope that this makes a really cool project for you. It could make some really fun Dresdens. I think there's lots of potential there. Obviously bags, and obviously if you paired it with brown faux leather, that would be great. And if you're looking for an interesting color that's more interesting than the color brown, a lot of faux leather is called hazelnut. And so you can look for hazelnut leather, faux leather, and that'll pop up in there. But we're going to have a hard pivot to Alice in Wonderland because we're going down the rabbit hole this morning. We just are. So a couple times or several times on our videos, we've done like, what did someone buy online last night? And someone bought the teacup fabric. So the teacup fabric is one of my absolute favorites. I have some quilted of this at home that I've made a couple projects out of. It's actually one of my daughter's like Tooth Fairy zipper bags because I don't have Tooth Fairy pillows. We have Tooth Fairy zipper bags. But anyway, the teacup just happens to be that. But this is also available as like a machine embroidery pattern download. I don't know what the person who's buying this online is doing. I'm already panicking because this is now like our last fresh full bolt of this teacup fabric. And like I said, it's one of my favorites. I like to drink a cup of tea every night. And when I don't do that, things just don't go as well. So, you know, it's just, I highly recommend it. But then it had me thinking about this, which reminded me that we just got on this ruby star fabric that is just also kind of like John Wayne and Tilda. If you haven't paired ruby star yet with Tula Pink, you're missing out. It's just a great combo. So this just happens to be super vibrant. Oh yes, the Cheshire Cat. And it's just, doesn't this just live really well together? So it's just, again, this is like our last fresh bolt of the Queen, the hot pink Queen, which she's actually called the Red Queen is the name of the design. The color is Daydream. But anyway, we should rename this bolt as the Hot Pink Queen because it's more fun. But she has, and if you don't have a teal turquoise lip gloss in your stash, maybe you should go to Target or Sephora, wherever people buy makeup. But anyway, teacups, the Pink Queen, the Cheshire Cat from Ruby Star Society. It's just awesome. If you think the cat's playing mind games with you, he is, because it is printed upwards and downwards and backwards and forwards. And if you've watched the movie, you know. But anyway, again, Ruby Star is living with Tula Pink in this great little combination. But this is a brand new line of fabric from Ruby Star, and it's called Hello Alice. So Hello Alice pairs really well with Curiouser and Curiouser, which is the name of Tula Pink's fun Wonderland of this video. But if you have been watching our videos for a while or not, one of the patterns that I am very obsessed with, it's one of my UFOs I dream of doing next as soon as I finish my Busy Kid quilt that's on my design board, is I'm going to be getting my Hidden Agenda quilt out. So there's a pattern called Hidden Agenda. If it's not on your stash and you like these people, you've got to get it. It's just a great pattern. I do have it. I did grab it. Hidden Agenda, this is what it looks like. It's written by Angela Pingle. Designs is the name of the author, and it uses a lot of fat quarters, half yards, some fat eight, just basically you just need to buy all the fabric to make it, and the bigger variety, the better. But it does involve lots of fussy cutting, and it's a great way to blend in pieces like this with giant prints like this. It's just a ton of fun. And it's a great way to throw the pom-poms and the tint stripes and the pom-poms and tint stripes, by the way, I just got ahead of myself. Those are Tula Pink stripes and polka dots. Those are what those are called. So it's just a lot of fun, but Hidden Agenda is perfect for Hello Alice from Ruby Star, and it's perfect for Curious and Curiouser if you happen to have that in your stash. If you don't have it in your stash, I was obsessed with it enough. We still have brand new fabric from that collection here at Beehive Quilt Shop, so you are never too late because we always have a hefty stash. And if you didn't know, we have ribbon, and this one is from Curious and Curiouser, and so it shows the cat, but it has the teacups and the ribbon. If you've also been watching us for a while or you're brand new, we also are really obsessed with keychain production. Katie wrote up this really great pattern for how to make a great keychain, and you can either do it with cotton strapping and just top stitch some ribbon, or you can also do the poly strapping. And I was listening to my mom explain this to somebody else. But the reason why we went with cotton instead of poly for our kits is because poly, you have to be a little sensitive with your ironing heat, and cotton, you can just steam and iron that puppy and it's going to be just fine. So cotton strapping or cotton webbing is a great thing to do, and polyester is short for poly, and that's what is a little sensitive to heat. So just keep that in mind. But if you're going with me down the rabbit hole of old UFOs and cool projects, this is something I'm a big fan of making test blocks. Tonight we have Mom and I are going up to El Dorado, and we're doing a trunk show at their quilt guild up there. So if you are near the El Dorado area, I'm going to be there at the El Dorado Senior Center at 6 o'clock doing a trunk show. I'm sure they would love to have guests, but Braxton, Mom, and I are going to be there. But sometimes I just really want to get a block out of my system, and I make a test block. And sometimes I do it because I am going to make a whole quilt, and sometimes it's just because I want to see what that looks like together. And so things like that can be perfect. Like this really could get quilted up and turned into a pillow, a throw pillow, throw some pom-pom trim on it. No one would ever know that it was actually written to be an entire quilt that I just made one block of. But if you're curious again with that hot pink queen, aka the red queen, aka the daydream color, that's what she looks like when you just frame her around. And Free Spirit Fabrics is fabulous at having free pattern inspiration on their project ideas. So that block is from this quilt called the Checkmate quilt. But if you look really close, it's actually supposed to be an even more ginormous block. I just only made the inside checkerboard part. So it also had these really big half square triangle type that went around to it and some sashing. Again, fabulous block, but sometimes if you're one of those people and you're afraid to commit, or you have a huge chunk of a stash and you're just not sure if you want to cut it all up, just make a test block, and then later on it can be a pillow. So I'm just giving you that idea of something just because that's what I do. And small public service announcement. This was one of the biggest, hottest sellers at the beginning of the summer. I think we got it in like May, maybe, or June. But this is called Salvage Magic from Ruby Star, and this is the alphabet letter piece of it. It's not a panel, it's running yardage, but we just got a couple more bolts because what a bunch of people are doing is they're buying like a half yard or a yard of this, and then they're cutting it up like this, and they're sorting it by letter, and then they're piecing like names or words or an inspirational message, and they're totally, like, to me it reminds me of alphabet stickers. I just think that, that you'd put on your refrigerator. Like, to me, that's what this reminds me of. Which, of course you could make fabric magnet stickers. You could also do that as well. But anyway, it's just fun. If you hadn't thought of that before, that's what a lot of people are doing with this piece is they're buying a half yard or a yard, and then they're cutting it up, sorting it by alphabetical letters, which is fun if you like Scrabble, bananagrams, you get the vibe. But it's just a fun idea to make a project better. And we know Ruby Star planned this because each of these letters has a really generous seam allowance because they want you to piece it. So it's not even meant to be raw edged, because everyone's bought a panel or something where it's printed too close together, and if you actually piece it, you miss the part of the icon. This is designed to piece all without giving you the obnoxious stitching line, so that if you get off, you don't, you panic, you don't have to worry about that. Stitch it however you like together, but just know that we got a couple more bolts of this because it is just really fun to get a whole yard of it. Other trends that are coming up in the quilting pop culture arena is Wicked 2 is coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. Do we know when it's coming out? November 21st. Guess what? That's my husband's birthday. So fun. I'm sure that's exactly what my husband wants to do, is go to Wicked too. I know he doesn't. I'm sure going to still be planting wheat or something. But anyway, he has seen the Wicked play with me before. I've seen it, I think, 4 times, and he has seen it twice with me. So he actually might seriously go to it. But this is a new fabric collection that has arrived with perfect timing right before the movie. So this is Patrick Luce, and it's called Good Together. Patrick Luce, if you have heard that name before, he is the inventor of Glisten, which is one of our top-selling basic collections that we have. It just kind of shimmers, but he designed this really cool collection, and again, it's called Good Together. So there's this really kind of cool oil slick, paint pourry kind of texture. There's the great illustrated things. It's just called White Defiance. Ooh, that is a big word, defiance. Anyway, this is White Defiance. Maybe we'll have to make that a different word. But anyway, it's wicked. It's wicked. Good together.
Part of the wording.
Yes, it's part of the word. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, you have to say the whole sentence, not be paraphrasing it like me. But then this looks like a green stamped leather. It's just the thing. So this collection, we have more than just 3 bolts. I'm just giving you a teaser. If this looks appealing to you, you can check that out. Again, it's called Good Together. And even if you just like pink and green, I know Katie and I have talked about it. I'm sure Desiree, surely she's the same, but I love pink and green quilts. I make them. I'm attracted to them. I love them. They just look super good together. If people ever bring in quilts and it is pink and green, I am just more gravitated to it. Did you see that? Gravity. Did you see that?
Also
Okay.
very pink and green.
Yes. It's just a classic.
Diane Harris and Charlotte Cox love your test block.
Oh, thank you. You too can make it. I'm pretty sure this is an 8.5-inch center. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. But again, that Checkmate is the name of the free pattern. So you should be able to Google that and find the PDF of that pattern. So Wicked, Curious and Curiouser, Hello Alice, bunnies. We're kind of backtracking here just as a recap. Possums and skunks, because of course they know bunnies. But speaking of bunnies, this is just adorable. And I was pulling some stuff around for 12 Days of Christmas, which we are doing this year. We're going to tell you some more about that later. But anyway, this is a ballerina and she's a bunny and it's adorable. It has nothing to do with skunks. It's just the cutest thing ever. This is from one of our favorite companies called Douglas. They make fabulous stuffed animals, or stuffies as the kiddos call them, and they're just super cute. So finishing up here, we also happen to have right now an amazing selection of Barbie activity books. And these are our other Katie has had them just beautifully curated. But we have a Barbie. This is thick. It is a word search, quips, quotes, and coloring book. So this is just lots of what you could want. It's full of endless things. This is not just a one road trip coloring book. And it even has like a really sturdy, it's not just a magazine coloring book. It really is sturdy. This is a fabulous super sticker book. I just think it's fun. It has Barbie through the decades. Here's the scale of the stickers. So there's like 1,000 stickers in there and some activity. It's just, again, it's super fun. This is the Dream House sticker book. Same same kind of bit, same scale. It's just super cute. Very awesome Barbie. And then this is the giant Barbie coloring book. And you just have the classic, look at that bougie dog. That bougie dog has been to the spa. And this is a very soft cover. You know, like if you touched paper and it's soft, this is soft paper. It's very nice. So very high quality. So we've got great selection of Barbie stuff right now. And this is for my trunk show. Oh, I meant to show you this. This is the Hello Alice zipper pulls from Ruby Star Society. So if you are making, whether you're making Tula Pink, you're blending Tula Pink with Ruby Star. If you just like Alice in Wonderland, or if you just love teacups like I do, it's a great zipper pull collection. And Hello Alice is what that set is called. It's just marvelous. Couple things, little toys just to round it all out. I got very excited. I did place some orders when I was freshly postpartum, or I was just about to have Braxton, and I forgot they're here and I hadn't seen them in person yet. And so this is a brand new thing that we hadn't had before from Mindware, and this is a math sandwich. So I always see on Pinterest, there's all these like mommy grandma blogs about how you should make your own felt stuff sandwiches. That would be an enormous amount of work. I am not going to do that as a mom, but I would buy this. So this is a math sandwich. Order up, learning fun. My kids love playing restaurant. That was my favorite thing to play when I was a little kiddo. And obviously now that I have an excuse to playing with the children, we'd play restaurant all the time. And this is just, it has 100 felt sandwich fillings, which again, I'm never going to make those in real life. I would love to buy it like this. And it has 12 menu cards, guest tablets, dry erase marker, sandwich wrappers. Wow. And it's just pretty great. So it's $20. Way much better than going and having to make all of the, it's a great bet. You should buy this, but I need to buy a copy of it first. Barb, don't tell Maribel about it. Anyway, that's just fun. And this is also hide and go seek goats. It's great. It's adorable. There's beds for the goats. The goats have a teacup and a plate. It's just adorable. It is a puzzle solving game. So it's really great for all that creative thinking that kids need to do. There's 4 different levels of difficulty so that you don't just have to start off with the hard version, but it really is fun. And this starts at age 3 to 7, right? Yeah, ages 3 to 7 is the highlight. Whenever I've played these games at Toy Fair, though, sometimes it takes me a minute. So don't think that because you're older than 7 that you have aged out of this game. This is good for your age of whoever you are to do this, because we all need to be using our minds more. So wherever you are at on the AI, temperature gauge, everybody needs to do more problem solving in games to use your muscles, because your brain is the best. So again, this is Hide and Go Seek Goats. It's just great, from Smart Games, our favorite brand of games. And we're rounding it off with, again, something that I would never make, but I think is adorable, is a baby itty bitty, teeny tiny, itty bitty little stocking. This is perfect for Barbie. It would be perfect for a Barbie Dreamhouse stocking. You could get lots of little teddy bears and Polly Pockets could fit in the stocking. But we only have a handful of these left before Christmas. So if you do want that, it is our world's smallest stocking setup. So, which we also have tons of things to choose from there. So world's smallest stocking is what we're finishing up with. Tula Minky. Tula Minky. We are not finishing up with the world's smallest stocking. We're going for the biggest wolf you've ever seen on Minky. So this is Tula Pink's new Graywork, which has been a really popular fabric collection. This is Minky. So it's super soft. It's polyester. It's 60 inches wide. And it has, it's just great. So there's 6 bolts in this collection. It's commissioned by Free Spirit Fabrics and Wolf of Pink Street. That's funny. Instead of the Wolf of Wall Street. Did you get that? Okay. And that's where I'm going with it. Then this is is this a jaguar or leopard?
I believe it's leopard.
It's a leopard, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I just had that moment. I was like, which big cat is this? But anyway, another thing, because again, you all are like, how did you get this many themes shoved into one event? This rosebud that is making the spots is from Curiouser and Curiouser. So Curiouser and Curiouser, which is the Alice in Wonderland line I was just talking about, This was called like Best Buds or Blooming Buds or something like that. And this was the tiny baby rose of what became the dripping rose from that collection. And it's just really fun. So if you didn't know that secret little, what do they call them, Easter eggs about this collection and that collection, this leopard is pulling that together. So just, it is a leopard or is it a cheetah? I've already forgotten. I don't know. Whatever big cat it is. The leopard.
What is she called?
What is she? You want me to read? It's called Beauty Mark.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
And Graywork Minky. So she can be a leopard to you. She can be a cheetah. If you're a zoologist or a Zootropolis fan and you know exactly what cat this is, please put that in the comments and put us out of our misery so that we exactly know which type of cat this is. Maybe we should be subscribing to Nature or some other nature show that would tell us more about cats. But like I said, there's this piece. This is 60 inches wide. This is a soft polyester fabric called Minky, and it's just quite marvelous. But the Blooming Buds super cute element is definitely there. And we're of course going to go with the number one charcoal polka dot. It's just been the biggest seller. I can't remember of all the bolts. I think that's the one that's been our most popular seller. And luckily we predicted that. So we still have some of this in stock, even though this collection just came out a couple of weeks ago. But now we have the Minky, we have the wide back actual 108-inch fabric. So we have it in a convenient pack of a 3-yard cut of 108 inches, or you can get whatever yardage you want off of the 108-inch bolt yourself. But these 60-inch bolts of the Graywork are fabulous. So again, if you know our shop, we have a huge selection of Shannon fabrics, which is the soft Minky fabric. And so you can pair this with something that's super lovely and super cuddly, or you could put this on the back of your Tula quilt yourself. Again, we talk about Villa Rosa patterns a lot because they are 60-inch. So many of the Villa Rosa patterns are finishing where they finish at like 60 inches wide. And what do we think?
I think you need this information.
We need this information. A jaguar versus a leopard. Spots. Oh, spots and rosettes. No spots and rosettes. That is like mind blowing. So it kind of, I bet it is then supposed to be a jaguar. Do you think it's a jaguar then?
Somewhat.
Because if the spots are supposed to be in rosettes and there's a rosebud. A jaguar. So it is a jaguar.
That'd be a fun play on the
see,
rose and...
you know, if you need to get a new car, this is a sign you should get a Jaguar, you know, because we're talking about this. No, I have no commission, but my mom did sell some Legos to the luxury car dealership up in Wichita. But anyway, I would assume the Jaguar is in that collection. But anyway, maybe you have a hood ornament. I don't know. Maybe you have a 3D printer. Maybe you should just, yes, you should be like one of those like shows and just show up and want to test drive, not actually buy the car. But, you know, that's just a thing. It gives people things to do. But the moral of the story is we think this is a jaguar because it has the roses and the rosebuds. So thank you to whoever put that in the comments. I'm sure.
How clever of Tula. Like
Tula is the cleverest. She's the cleverest. She just really is. The other random thought I had this morning, literally had this thought this morning, is like, I wonder what Tula Pink's Wikipedia page looks like because I haven't looked that up. And you know, I like looking up famous people. And like Tula Pink really is a famous person. I wonder what her Wikipedia page looks like. Hopefully whoever fangirling is helping keep up with that hopefully her brother is making sure that's protected. You know, but anyway, Tula Pink, spots, polka dots, charcoal with rainbow. It's just a thing. Tilda and John Wayne. I mean, we've had a lot of really great ideas today. So it's Thursday. We are open till 7 p.m. If you would like to join us in El Dorado, again, we're going to be there at 6 o'clock at the El Dorado Senior Center tonight, the 13th of November. And we'd love to have you there for the trunk show. And that's all I've got for you. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.